For centuries, great textile workshops kept colour records, swatches with names, recipes and purpose. From Le Gobelin to the manufactories of Lille, these weren't just beautiful, they were tools. Today, the tradition lives on in Pantone charts and dye lab codes. In this final chapter, we lay out a sampler of our own, a cloth marked by weld, madder, cosmos, logwood and indigo, dyed on cotton and silk over tannin, alum and iron. Each square is a quiet result, a record of plant, process and patience, not an end, a beginning.
So this was a busy class with 180 samples, different colors. So we could do many more. So the goal was to point out some different methods, different approaches. So I did insist very much on that technique of using in priority the best dye stones, so the classical ones. So we did not multiplicate the trials with the wild. We had a little bit of wild here, so the ivy, because the ivy was also interesting for the saponins, so we had leftover usable for dyes, linden, horse chestnut, and a little bit of artichoke. For the rest, it is very important to notice that the blue is absolutely necessary. Blue is very popular and it is changing, opening to many colors. So we have seen the classical vat. It was on linen. It was hemp. Sorry. It was also on wool. It was on silk. The classical vat to be diluted enough to get pale shades to multiplicate the possibilities, because we have seen that we do indigo first and then mordant and over dyeing. So that's very simple. It seems it's a long process, but when you enter in, you remember you keep your vat for long. So it's kind of deep first, kind of preparation before your hot dye, properly speaking. We had some questions about very dark blues, like for example on silk here, it is renowned to be difficult to get super dark blue, but we had the saponin vat. So it's not exactly the classical one. It is added of some surfactant, natural surfactant from the ivy. So it could go very far in the fabric. Even on the cotton we had some. And then we discovered this amazing world of tannins. So some tannins like Kutch can give from beige to reddish brown, and by combination with indigo, of course, you can have a bunch of possibilities. For the rest, we did explore two classical ones. So the very classical ones, sorry, they were madder, cochineal, weld, and for about extending the palette, we had a bit of logwood and cosmos. That's it. For the rest, it is just playing with combinations. So over dyeing on blue. So like for example here you see this could give plenty of different attractive shades. That's very precious regarding some mixed colors. And then for extension of the creativity, I just proposed a second mode, which is the ferrous acetate. So we had ranges of interesting shades. That's the weld on various fabrics, and then this is more or less ferrous acetate included in the aluminum models. So we had several of that. So in fact, it's like we have two important tools plus the models. So the aluminum model will give the headlight and everything. So you have important practice about that with different variations depending on the fibers. Then two added tools. I would say the indigo is a tool for pre-treating the fiber, then getting plenty of shades. And the ferrous acetate is also some kind of tool that we can add to the aluminum model to get plenty of shades. We're taking care of recycling things. Like for example, we have some lake. That was a mother lake, so you know we had a very clear type what was the mother that we just extracted cold, and then we still had the chips of wood that we could have a second extraction for the lake. So the lake is like kind of extract. You just dissolve it in some citric acid solution. Then that's wool, that's silk. But depending on how much you put, you can have plenty of different shades. So being sobers, we can combine many get many shades by combinations, and exploring, we need a method. So here we had a little method. Well, it was quickly done, but there were fresh leaves, some horse chestnut. This is just warm to hot extraction in water, and this is alkaline extraction. So it's very remarkable that we have different shades just by changing the type of extraction. So that's super creative. So this brings you to the composition of the plant, of course, selective extractions. And so diversity of processes, we just have 3 to 4 recipes. Oxidization of the tannin here, the indigo vat, the model dyes, with variations, but everything is in the variation. So the green chemistry, which is very important today, consists in using small amount of matters and also small quantities. So that's why, for example, we did combine. For the wool, we had plenty of interesting things on the wool, but for the wool, I think it's, for example, this one, we had the model with only 10% of alum instead of 20 like people. So the secret is that we had a little bit of surfactant. That could be kind of industrial additive from sorbic acid, from the sorbus tree, or it could be the IV solution. So it helps to penetrate. So you divide per 2, you just take the half of the common proportion for those beautiful colors. So also when using your indigo with a surfactant, so you can get those beautiful colors with the solution of ivy inside, to help to penetrate. Sober again, because we never dispose of the model. You remember the model was recycled to make the lakes. So that's very interesting. And also for the cellulose, okay, let's say this is an example. For example, this is the hemp. We just impregnate the fabric. So we never dispose of even a drop of model, because then everything is fixed inside. So that's a proposition for kind of a green dyes, very different than the dyes we can read in some books from the 70s. They were using plenty of chromium, tin, copper, and with a very poor creativity, so it was boiling and boiling, and that's it. But we have seen changing a little bit our vision of the plant. We know that there's a huge diversity in the same plant, so we can have a warm extraction, hot, alkaline extraction, and all these things. same for cooking. If you cook gently, you get a greenish from some plant. If you cook very hardly, it is turned to kind of reddish. So that's very, very crucial to understand those things. So I wish you have a very pleasant time with this tutorial, that it will be encouraged to explore. So now my little booklet has 23 pages, so I can put them together and keep them for any purpose I have to think about my projects, to show to my colleagues, to share with my clients. Could be, but remember, if you want to reproduce, be sure that you will have good supplier with very excellent, if possible, choose your fabrics also, because the type of fabric is extremely important. We have seen, for example, that when using a mix of, this is a mix of two fibers, sometimes we have a bit of difficulties with the evenness. So please choose your best supplies. I will give a list. I'm selling, I have some supplies here. I'm very much concerned on the quality. So, you know, I have some good suppliers from Brittany, because Britons are growing. There are several producers growing Cosmos, Coreopsis, Web, Madder, and of course making indigo of high quality. And then I have all the drugs of the best quality, because the problem is that sometimes you will buy it very cheap and with some disappointments, as I had so many in the past. And then you will have the list for French people or European. You will have a list of suppliers, fabrics and drugs. So have a nice time with the natural light.